She's not asking for the moon, not diamonds or some grand balloon. Just a moment, just your eyes. Not a kingdom, just no lies. Is it heavy? Is it hard to hold a heart?
Another day, another dollar, and we are back for some bread, baby. So let's get straight into it. So today we are going long on gold. Let's see what we can do right now.
I grind cause I gotta get paid. 1% chance, 99% faith. I fell in love with the hustle, I fell in love with the chase. No emotion, put in the pain. We get it no matter the weather. Sun, snow, sleet, rain. Go sleep and do it again.
So this is the trade. The reasoning for this trade was pretty simple actually, because we can just go on the 4-hour time frame, and from there you'll understand further why I entered on this trade. As you can see, during Asian session and then when London opened, right, it left this order block right there on the 4-hour time frame. So I just placed my buy limit and left it there. So now as you can see, it just got ticked in about an hour ago, as you can see. And right now we're heading into New York session. It's probably opening in a few minutes right now. So let's just confirm. Oh, it has opened. Yeah, New York session just opened there. As you can see, just literally opened like an hour ago. So I'm definitely done trading, and I'm just going to be holding this trade, targeting a 1:3 on the 4-hour time frame, of course. All right, and it breaks this high. We are nice and good, man. We are targeting a 1:3, as you can see, and this is the trade we have currently, man. So I'm just going to let this run, and then we'll see how far it'll go just today only. So the 1:3, it has to break this high as well, because evidently gold wants to buy, man. I wanted shorts, but it seemed like we're not getting that, and it seems as though this was strong enough to push the market back to the upside. All right, so we are breaking this high and we are pushing up beautifully. I'm not going to enter break even. It would be reasonable to enter break even, but I'll rather just let this trade run. So we'll see what it wants to do, man. So we're on the 4-hour time frame. We'll just let it push up, and this is it, man. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. Okay, so like I said, I've hit this buy limit since like London open. All right, and now it's New York open. Our trade got just got ticked in. There's only one thing that I can do is leave it. It's something this that I always say, but it's not as easy to commit, right? However, we are still trying to follow it, man. And let's give it time, let's give it patience. So what I'm just going to be doing, I'm just going to let this trade run, right? Because as well, I'm targeting 1:3, and this 1:3 is about at 5,120 to take profit, or a little bit above that. So it's definitely going to take some time. I'm probably going to be holding this trade throughout the whole weekend. So that's that, bro. So let me see if I can find a second entry. The reason I'm saying I can find a second entry is because, well, it is confirmed basically that we are buying, right? Because it broke the previous high before the retracement. Exactly, something like this. It broke the previous high before the retracement, which is why I was saying break even would be reasonable, something like this. Which is why I was saying break even would be reasonable, all right? But I'm not going to place break even. So let me say discard. I'm not going to be placing break even. What I'm going to do, however, is wait for this candle closure, right? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for this candle closure, which is closing in about 7 minutes, and then I'm going to put second entries. So here's what I'm going to do right now, right? So I'm gonna go back on the 4-hour time frame on a second chart, right? So okay, on the 1-hour time frame, we know that this is the point of interest the market reacted to, all right? And I'm still targeting 1:3. So my target is overall 120 right there. So if it's like this in the market, so I want the market to close above, obviously. It does that. I'm going to point out the zone, this, and then I'm gonna hold my second trade from there. So something like this. Yeah, this will be my second trade for sure. Zone out. No, here. This is my second trade, and this one as well will target a 1:3. 1:3 on this one, so I have an early closure. I don't have to target all the way through. All right, so perfect. So I'm just going to be waiting for this trade to close, for this candle to close. It's closing in about 5 minutes, and then I will have a second entry, which will be very, very nice for my sake. I actually saw trades by Sai saying he might be holding gold all the way until 5,006, like from today, like right now. But hey man, it's a bit risky. I actually don't know, but I'm just going to be holding my trades, man. I'm just going to be holding my trades. I really don't need that much, you see. So I'll place a second entry here, and then we see how it goes, man. Just like that, it broke above, so nice. Now we are waiting for a retracement. This is my second entry, of course. All right, something like this. Hold on, something like this. We target another 1:3. Wait, what's going on? Okay, perfect. It's something like this. This is the second trade, and then the first trade is on it's on this side. This is our second trade. Yesterday, you guys said I should only look for buys. I did press buys, bro. Let me show you something. Yesterday, I did press buys. Look at here. If you check yesterday's video, right in the comments, there's a guy that said, "Hey man, go ahead and just buy gold and hold." Two guys actually, right? I did. Look at this, and I actually waited for confirmation, which is why today I was just like, wait, then what am I waiting confirmation for if I get manipulated? I'll explain and then make it connect with this. Make it connect to this trade. Look at this. Yesterday, I placed this trade. I'm like, okay, we are buying. I see that on the 30-minute time frame, we are pushing upward, obviously. We broke structure here, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. I want this point of interest to be mitigated on the 1 hour time frame. There was a point of interest that I wanted here. There we go. And then I marked this out. And I'm like, all right, so we're evidently pushing upward, right? And then I'm saying, okay, I want to wait for confirmation. What do I want for confirmation? I want a sweep of liquidity or a block with a fair value gap. Bruh, I got exactly that right there. You can't tell me this is not a push upward. You cannot tell me this is not a change of character. I did. Right, placed it. As well, it consists of the liquidity sweep, change of character, fair value gap, and order block. 4 points. 4 points. I mark out my fair value gap right here. Right, in the place longs. Look, my stop loss was right here. This was my stop loss. And what happened after that? You can believe. What happened after that? Hit my stop loss. And then what happened after that, man? Do you see how crazy this is? So crazy. And I entered longs, bro. I entered longs. And my take profit was here. It just hit my take profit. This was my take profit for yesterday. From yesterday's trade. That was my TP, bro. So clear. Alright, but fine, didn't happen because I was like, okay, so if I'm waiting for confirmation and it still takes me out, what about today? Which is why today, let's go on that chart actually, right, on the 4 hour time frame, like as you can see here, on the 4 hour time frame, it left this point of interest. So I was like, I'm not going to be waiting for no confirmation. What it broke structure. I see it. It's very clear. There's a point of interest there. I'm entering on it. So I did, as you can see, and it pushed upward very beautifully. Now you might be asking, okay, so suppose I didn't just enter randomly without confirmation. What will be my confirmation now? It broke structure after mitigating my zone, right? Then this will be my confirmation. This is where I will be entering. We are going to give it time. I'm going to leave this right there, and we are going to see how it does. All right, so let's go here. So this is my confirmation for this for that 4 hour point of interest. Let's see what it does. You'll be surprised if it ends up doing something like this. I'm telling you, but it's fine. Let's not jinx stuff. Let's just leave it the way it is, because this is how I would normally trade. I would wait for this confirmation. So let's just give it time and see how it does. Okay, so we are still not in the trade just yet. I'm still going to be holding it. Like I said, we're probably going to be holding it throughout the weekend, which I've done that almost every other week. Right, I've done that almost every other week. there's likely going to be strong news that's going to happen over the weekend, like some crazy fundamental, not like an intended fundamental, but like these crazy wars, this geopolitical stuff, something that will push gold to the upside over the weekend. Of course, over the weekend market is closed, but what I'm saying is when market opens on Monday, it could push up crazily. Even if it pushes up candle by candle, it can still do that. But the thing is, there is a forecast whereby gold could potentially go up, because another thing, there is this index. I didn't even know there was this index. It's about the world uncertainty something index, world uncertainty index. So they don't know. World War III could erupt any second. Now, I'm not saying like it is, but I'm just saying based on the geopolitical stuff that's going on around here, it's crazy. And you know what? World War III started a long time ago. It started a very, very long time ago. Ever since the Ukraine bombing and stuff, that was World War III. That is World War III. People, I did history in secondary, right? So in high school. So people think, or usually they think like World War III consists of all countries at war. That's not how it works. That's never ever how it was even. It's country by country. It could be 3 countries at a time, maybe even 4, but it's not all of them. And it was not every single square mile there was war. That's not how it was. That's how, and I would fear that, hey man, World War III could erupt. Yes, it could be a possible thing that where you are might potentially get, especially if you are in the what you call this place. If you are in the outskirts, right? Also not so much in the middle, but if you're in the capital city, of course, there things could get, I'm not guaranteeing that you are safe, right? If you're on the borders of the city, of the town, of your country, because that's where these people come in from, like the soldiers, the army. That's when they come in from outside the borders. So you are first in line before anything. If they are bombing and they're bombing the capital, 3 kilometers outside the capital, you might even be potentially, depending on how the nuclear is. But that's what I'm saying. It's not every single mile where there was war. It's not every country at the same time anymore. No. However, we are witnessing which countries are involved in World War III. Because when this is now eventually documented, suppose 50, 100 years later, they will then say, hey man, there was World War III. World War III was crazy. World War III consisted of Ukraine, consisted of what other countries are going crazy? Israel. Am I even allowed to say that? Yeah, consisted of Iran, Iraq, all those countries. They will be all in there. And then there was obviously going to be 2 sides, Central Powers and the Allied Powers. That's always how it's going to be. So you see, my point is, something is probably brewing and we don't know. All right, so we're just going to keep this straight some time. I've been talking too much, but this is it, man. Let's see how it goes. So as you can see, it did not. It's about 25 minutes to the next hour right now, to 5, which is fine. We don't mind. The thing, what I'm saying is, it's good that it's leaving a fair value gap on our point of interest, which gives us a high possible entry that we are going to get respected. And then if I go on this one, our first entry is moving beautifully. We're in profit, as you can see. It's moving just beautifully, man. So I'm just definitely going to hold this. Another thing that I like is on the weekly, we swept the previous weekly low. So obviously we're targeting the previous weekly high, which is what I like. Because if I go on the 1 hour, right? If I go on the 1 hour, you see where my target is. I'm targeting 120. And this is 120 is where the previous weekly high is. All right. So that is where I want my target to be. And the market will most definitely hit that any other day, man. Probably next week. So I'm just going to be holding these trades. No more tempering. I'm not going to be forcing entries. Okay. We're just going to leave this. Then we see how it behaves next week. Next week when the market opens. All right, I'm not going to be entering any more trades after this entry of ours is confirmed and is entered. You see? So we are just going to give this some time and then we'll see, man. Man, please comment, like, and subscribe so that you get notified when I drop the continuation of this trade. and then we'll see how it will perform next week. All right, so comment, like, and subscribe, man. Let's go.